Welcome back to the Arise interview. I'm Charles Aniagolu. Now, as you probably know, many Nigerians have for years been demanding a fundamental review of the country's 1999 constitution. Many people in this country consider that constitution to be problematic and unrepresentative. To that effect, the Nigerian Senate has begun holding a national hearing here in Abuja on proposals to amend the constitution. It follows hearings across the country's 6 geopolitical zones, with many Nigerians commenting on issues they believe will improve the quality of governance in the country.
On the issue of state police, in the light of the current realities, the ACF accepts the argument that giving power to state governments to create state police and exercise greater control over security matters will be helpful in achieving better security for the whole country. However, permitting states and perhaps local governments to establish police formalities must be accompanied by stringent checks and balances in that respect. The Police Service Commission will not be enough. On the creation of states, we appreciate that at the moment, most states are unviable, but at the same time, there are also agitations for most states. We feel the ACF believes that while there should be a consideration, whatever is done, the present ratio of states between the North and the South should be maintained.
Well, for more on this, let's speak to Arise political editor Sumner Sambo, who's been monitoring developments for us. He's been at the venue of those hearings all day, and he's just got back. Thank you for coming over and joining us here. Just bring us the highlights of this national public hearing on the Constitution and moves to amend it. What are the top line issues?
Okay, well, the top line issues are, first of all, the call for a brand new constitution different from this amendment. This is the 5th alteration, and one of the speakers there earlier on had said that, look, we should form what's called a constituent assembly, where each state and local governments actually elect people to go to the constituent assembly to fashion out a new constitution rather than the National Assembly altering this for the 5th time and all of that, saying that, look, this constitution is not representative enough. While some people have also said that, look, this constitution is representative enough because it's an offshoot of the 1979 constitution that birthed that Second Republic. And before then, there was a constituent assembly where we had the likes of late Chief Obafemi Awolowo and late Nnamdi Azikiwe. 2 out of 3 or 4 of the founding fathers were in that constituent assembly. So they are saying that why is there a need for a constituent assembly again? It should just be, this National Assembly altering it until we get a constitution in the future that's good. But we also had some sound bites of people actually asking for some things that may actually look like frivolous resolutions. There are some people asking for Nigeria to be renamed the United African Republic. There are some people who are saying that, look, for example, there should be a distinction between citizenship, indigenship, and then residency. That a lot of people, especially those from Lagos, were complaining bitterly that the natives there, who are the indigenous people, have been pushed away, and lots of persons who come there have resided there over time. It's been a big issue. And we also had some people calling for ecclesiastical courts to be created. I mean, since we already have the Sharia court and all of that, they're asking for court of appeals. For
balance.
Yes, and all of that. So for the Christians. But one thing that actually struck me most is that there was this demand for the diasporans to have 3 senators and 10 House of Representatives. And they cited Italy, for example, Lebanon, and some other countries where those who are in the diaspora are given opportunity to have representatives elected in the parliament.
That's very interesting. So what's your sense of how it's all going? Is the process engendering more confidence this time? Does it look like any amendment will actually be in the overall interest of Nigerians?
Let me start by saying that in the mood of the nation that we found ourselves in the past few months, this opportunity has given Nigerians to actually talk. And that has helped to calm down frayed nerves, which is what we've not been hearing before. the opportunity to sit down and actually articulate ideas and say, this is what we want. We want more states, we want local governments, we want more senatorial
and to feel like they're being heard.
Yes, like they are being heard. So that has helped to calm down frayed nerves. Now, let me go to your question. The issue is that a lot of people have said that there was some form of distrust with this National Assembly, especially after the Senate President Ahmad Lawan has said that if Nigerians actually want restructuring, especially the governors, then they should start from their states, because some of them are more of like emperors. They do not want judicial and parliamentary autonomy in the states, but they are asking the federal government to devolve more powers to the states. So why don't they start from the states? And that actually put the Senate President in the front light. And some had been saying that it may jeopardize the hearings and what people are presenting. But the Deputy Senate President, who says the Senate President is just one person out of 109 lawmakers, and we have 360 House of Representative members. So in all, the views of everyone will be collated, and even the governors have an opinion by themselves. So in all, there's this feeling that there could be something that will be salvaged out of the present agitations in this fifth alteration. And the Deputy Senate President has said that, look, we can only keep getting better because the Constitution only allows them to alter segments, not the entirety of what some people are asking, like Obieze Kwesili had demanded, and saying that was going ultra-vires. Is beyond their powers to actually do that.
And of course, there is the very big issue of restructuring that's, I understand, under discussion, but also considerably interesting issues like the age of marriage that I heard about. What's your sense of how the people who are in charge of this constitution amendment are reacting to all that?
Well, Charles, they are not supposed to react right now. They are just supposed to collate the views of all Nigerians.
And then go and discuss it.
And then go and discuss it within their chambers. And so the views have been coming from Nigerians rather than the senators. But most of the senators are actually giving back into some of the demands. For example, fiscal federalism, a lot of people are saying that, look, the center is getting too much for it to be having 52%. And so the local governments need to have more. And some are saying that we should actually eject the local governments from the constitution. And we should have just a two-tier system of government, just the federal and state. And so that states can create as many local governments that they want. Some people are saying that we should have the six geopolitical zones enshrined in the constitution, and some people are saying no. Some people are asking for regionalism, and others are saying, look, if you're asking for us to go back to the 1963 constitution, then it means you want us to go to the 4 regions that we had: the West, the North, and then the East, and then the Midwest region, which is to so many people no longer feasible at the moment. And then we have these demands, like you have said. Some people are actually saying that the voting age should be altered to 16, because some European countries are actually putting their voting age at 16, and then the marriageable age should be 16 also. And then some others are saying that, look, in the light of how we found ourselves, we need to be very unique in the way we fashion out our laws, considering that in Africa we have the highest number of tribes, and so Nigeria, it's more of like a republic within a republic.
Very interesting. So what happens next? I mean, after this national public hearing on constitutional amendment, where do things go from here? Okay,
now this is the most interesting part of it, because it's a long stretch. There are 3 areas of rejections that that each of the sections have to go through. Before, the National Assembly used to organize a whole hearing, and everything will be sent as just one piece of legislation and for the president to sign. And if he refuses his assent, everything will go bunker. But right now, what they are doing is that each of the clauses that they want to amend will be separate, so that if the president doesn't agree on one, the other one will pass through. Now, in this process, once they are through collating it, the Senate will actually go through it, go into a voting, and it's 4/5 for it to alter the amendments, not 2/3. So you have to get 4/5 for each of them, and then 4/5 of the 109 senators, 4/5 of the 360 members. And once all of this scale through, then there will be a harmonization committee between both the Senate and the House of Reps. Then from there, it will now be taken to the 36 states houses of assembly, out of which each of the clauses for amendment must get 24 out of 36. Then it comes back. Then the National Assembly collate all the ones that pass 4/5, and the ones that didn't pass, then it will be sent to the president for assent. So if it doesn't assent to any of them, well, it will die a natural death. But those ones that are assented, they will be deemed to have been lost.
It sounds monstrously complicated, but thanks for putting it in easy to understand perspective. Sumner Sambo is Arise political editor. That's it for this edition of the Arise interview. Join us again tomorrow. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, bye-bye, and thank you for watching.